Of all the Star Wars games out there, one of the most important ones has to be LEGO Star Wars. Not only was it a brilliant game, but it also kickstarted one of the biggest and most prolific video game franchises of them all, the LEGO series, which is obviously still going strong today. But with LEGO Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, we're seeing the biggest and most ambitious LEGO game to date. But does it live up to the hype and the long development cycle? Let's find out. Originally announced all the way back in the summer of 2019, the Skywalker Saga amazed Star Wars fans with the complete 9 mainline Star Wars films being bundled in a LEGO game for the very first time. It was hoping to launch in 2020, but obviously with the pandemic and various other things, the game was delayed and delayed again. It kind of felt like after a while that the game would not release at all, but finally, after all the delays, the game is finally here and it's something special indeed. As we all know, the game is based on the 9 mainline Star Wars films, the 3 trilogies. Unfortunately, we don't get any Rogue One or Solo levels here, which is unfortunate, but you can get some DLC packs with characters from them films, as well as a few of the TV shows, including The Mandalorian. The gameplay has seen a shift, gone is the zoomed out camera, and in comes a more over the shoulder sort of third person sort of action adventure style of gameplay. A lot of the movement of the characters have changed up quite a bit, especially for those characters with a gun. It feels more like a traditional third person shooter, and shooting is actually pretty decent, if a little bit basic. There's also a cover system here, which is also pretty solid. Playing as a Jedi feels more fun than ever before, with lightsabers feeling more powerful, allowing you to pull off some cool force moves and using Jedi mind tricks, which is also very fun. Then you've also got the lightsabers, which can be thrown, and the hand-to-hand and lightsaber combat is also great thanks to a new combo system that allows for a bit of depth to the gameplay. Levels themselves have changed up quite a bit, feeling more like an action-adventure game instead of a puzzle platformer like the originals. Whilst puzzles and many of the old-school LEGO gameplay stuff is still here, it feels like they're always on the move here and it doesn't spend too long in one place. With 6 levels for each film, they're all based on certain parts of each films, like the pod racing stuff from episode 1, the land speeder stuff from Endor of episode 6, and Jakku from episode 7, and even the casino part from episode 8. In between these levels, there's a lot of jumping around planets and a bit of fetch quests here and there, which are used to move the story forward, which is pretty fun. Each episode takes around 2 hours to complete, which means it's a whistle-stop tour of each film, whereas in the older LEGO games, a typical LEGO level would take you around 30 minutes to an hour to complete. But here, each level is rather bite-sized, taking around 15 to 20 minutes to complete some of them, but there are some of them, like the vehicle sections, that only take about 5 minutes. I do like this approach, but I do feel like they gloss over certain important parts of each film. I would have liked a few more levels based on certain sections of each films, but for the most part I like what they've done here. Each level has 5 mini-kits, 3 secret challenges, 3 stud bars to complete and 6 Kyber bricks to nab. So there's a lot of stuff to nab in each level, and obviously like in previous LEGO games you can go back and play in free play and play as any character you want to unlock new paths and secrets, so that's great. When not completing mainline missions, you'll be planet hopping throughout the whole Star Wars galaxy. Pretty much each galaxy of the mainline films are represented here, and it's really good to explore them. Whilst they're not open worlds as such, they're like a mix between hubs and open worlds, and some worlds are split into sections, and here you can explore many iconic planets from the series history, collect all the collectibles and complete many different missions. Most of these missions are just your pretty typical fetch quest stuff, but a few of them can lead to very fun and intense boss battles. It's worth doing these side missions as they unlock new characters and various other things for you to do. A quick mention has to be said about the boss fights, and wow, they're really enjoyable. Gone are the rather basic ones that appeared in the original games. Here they actually feel like proper boss battles and feel rather epic to boot. From the fight with Darth Maul in episode 1, the Anakin and General Grievous fight in episode 3, and many other battles throughout the whole other episodes, they all feel like glorious affairs and are a visual delight. Onto the length now, and Skywalker Saga is certainly a meaty game with plenty to do, with 9 different films being represented here, each taking 2 hours to complete. So to complete the mainline game, you're talking easily 20 plus hours. Then you've got the absolute cornucopian amount of content to do here. You've got over 1,000 Kyber bricks to nab, 400 characters, cheats, unlockable secrets and missions. It's easily the biggest LEGO game to date, and you're talking well over 50 hours to get that elusive 100%. Yeah, a lot of this content is filler, but it's just so much darn fun to play through. Graphics now, and the Skywalker Saga looks incredible on other consoles, providing the best looking LEGO game to date with some lovely environments, detailed character models, and lighting. And many people worried how the Switch version would look, and thankfully they've done a decent job here. Many Switch versions of multi-platform LEGO games have been a bit iffy, such as LEGO DC Supervillains, which looked a bit blurry, but thankfully Skywalker Saga is much more of a looker. Obviously the Switch version has seen cutback in textures and some graphical elements, but the bases still look very much the same. Some of the environments look really nice and can display a lot on screen without any issues. There can be a few frame rate issues here and there in busy moments, and some cutscenes do look a bit odd, but overall I'm pretty impressed. Environments are still big and detailed enough. There is popping and some muddy textures, which is to be expected, but nothing has actually been cut out content wise, so that's the main thing. The game runs at a dynamic resolution, and for the most part it looks clear. But for me, where the game really does shine is in portable play on the OLED. It's easily the best way to play with those vivid colours. As for frame rate, it's a 30 FPS cap, and for the most part it sticks to it, only dropping it a few busy moments and in some cutscenes. But apart from that, it's a really solid job. The only real fault I have is glitches. Like many other LEGO games beforehand, glitches seem to always pop up, and in the Skywalker Saga on Switch, it's no difference. From levels not progressing properly, so I have to replay them again, to things not popping up properly. Sometimes the game would just pause. It's not awful or frequent, but it can be a pain whenever it does rear its head. Hopefully a few patches will fix things up. Onto the audio now, and like all other Star Wars games, we've got that same great, brilliant and timeless Star Wars soundtrack of many iconic themes. The game is also fully voice acted this time around. This is the first time since The Force Awakens we've seen voice acting, and like all other LEGO games with the voice acting, the cast here does an absolutely stellar job. Some characters sound incredibly like their big screen counterparts. Many of these voice actors return from other Star Wars projects such as the Clone Wars series and other animated shows, so that's good. We also do see original cast members such as the brilliant Billy D. Williams reprising his role as Lando and Anthony Daniels as C-3PO. Also got the Force Unleashed Sam's Witwer returning to voice Maul and the Emperor. There's also an option to switch to the old school LEGO Mumble voice acting if you'd like a more traditional experience, which is great too. Conclusion time now, and LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga on Switch is a very respectable port. Whilst not having the graphical flair of its bigger brothers, it still runs well and proves to be a rather nice looking game with its own graphical style. It's still that same great, huge LEGO Star Wars experience with every level, character, secret and whatnot to make for a game that will last you well over 50 hours if you wanted it to. The new style of LEGO gameplay works well, and the short 2-hour versions of each film captures each film incredibly well. And the new gameplay mechanics really do enhance the experience, and the boss battles are really fun too. The only real issue I have here is that there's a lot of technical glitches that ruin the progression, so hopefully they'll be fixed soon. So with that, I'm giving LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga on Switch an 8 out of 10 with the title of great. As always, thank you for watching my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be totally awesome. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye.